The headline is Obama's nuclear deal looms over Trump's Iran negotiations, and it's a story about a president trying to escape the shadow of his predecessor while potentially facing the hardest diplomatic challenge of his term. Just minutes after agreeing to a new arrangement with Iran, President Trump got on the phone with a New York Times reporter and almost immediately brought up Barack Obama. The 2015 nuclear deal, Trump said, was a disaster. His own deal, he insisted, is a wall against a nuclear weapon in the truest sense of the word. That contrast matters to him. He campaigned against the Obama Accord as far back as 2015, and in his first term he killed it outright. But here's where things get complicated. What Trump actually announced on Sunday isn't really a nuclear deal at all, not yet. It's a 60-day ceasefire and an agreement to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, with both sides committing to begin negotiations on Iran's nuclear program. The hard part hasn't started. And the hard part is very hard. The 2015 deal took 18 months to negotiate, runs more than 150 pages, and resulted in Iran shipping out 97% of its nuclear stockpile. Wendy Sherman, who led that negotiating team, put it bluntly, what Trump has to do now is even harder, because Iran's current stockpile of 60% enriched uranium is far more dangerous than what existed in 2015. Back then, the most potent material Iran had was enriched to only 20%, requiring weeks or months of further work before it could be weapons grade. Today, that 60% fuel can be turned into bomb-grade material in days or weeks. Sherman also noted that the Trump team still needs to assemble the kind of expert bench the 2015 negotiations required: lawyers, treasury specialists, energy experts, inspection professionals. Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner have been racing to do exactly that. A few weeks ago they spent a day at Oak Ridge National Laboratory getting up to speed on how to recover and dilute enriched uranium. Iran, meanwhile, is not coming in unprepared. Their lead negotiator, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, was the number 2 Iranian official at the 2015 talks and has encyclopedic knowledge of Iran's entire nuclear infrastructure. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has argued that Trump holds cards Obama never had, namely, the credibility of having actually bombed Iran in 2 waves of strikes. Trump himself echoed that, saying the Iranians have had enough. But the article points out that Iran has cards of its own this time around. It has demonstrated the ability to shut down the Strait of Hormuz with mines and drones, strike water desalination plants, radar arrays, and petrochemical facilities across the region. That's leverage the Iranians didn't have in 2015. There are also familiar gaps. The new Memorandum of Understanding is apparently silent on Iran's missile program and its support for groups like Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, the same issues Trump cited when he tore up the Obama deal in 2018. Trump says sanctions relief will be conditioned on behavior change, but he also said he sees no urgency in removing the uranium stockpile, noting that buried under rubble it poses no immediate threat. Trump talked about potentially negotiating a 15 to 20-year suspension of enrichment, which would push restrictions out to somewhere between 2041 and 2046. That's a longer horizon than the Obama deal, which was set to begin expiring in 2030. But as the article notes, buying time was exactly the Obama strategy too. The bottom line, if Trump successfully negotiates every concession he says Iran is ready to make, he could end up with a deal that surpasses the 2015 accord. But as the Times puts it, he just doesn't have it yet. That was Obama's nuclear deal looms over Trump's Iran negotiations, reported by David Sanger for the New York Times.